Good morning, guys. I say morning because it's really a shit here. I've got a lot to do today. I've got an appointment and a Thanksgiving kind of get-together party to go to. So if you're going to do a little get ready with me, and I also talk about something. One thing I want to talk about today is the elephant in the room. There are many videos going around right now about eye irritation, and if you guys know and have watched me in the past, you know I've had a reaction to Mini MUA's palette. I've also had a reaction to the blood sugar palette, and mainly those are because of the red 40. Now, I have seen this girl. I don't recall what her name is. I don't want to name call people, but I did see this girl's video going around. She's made a big, huge stink about it, and I'm not going to say either way about it. I'm going to tell you my experience with what happened as I get ready, because I don't have a lot of time. Also, I'm going to be using this new palette today. This is the Bad Habit Pretty Poison palette. I grabbed this. Been wanting to try it. It looked gorgeous. This is supposed to be an original palette. This is not a copy of anything, which I think is very cool, and I hope they do more of, because I'm a firm believer in buy a formula and not a name. And when I buy Bad Habit, I buy a formula because I love their formulas. They are very, very reliable on their formulas. I've not really found a bad palette from them. They do have a bad habit of copying other palettes. You can say that's a bad habit. You can say it's a good habit. You can say what you want. Anyway, I just have some face primer on my eyes. I wasn't going to do, I don't want like a real heavy look today. You know what? I am going to grab my P. Louise. I've been loving this base. And if you guys haven't tried this P. Louise base is great. I'm going to put a very light coat on. A lot of people say to use a lot. Today, I don't want a real heavy look to my eyelids. My eyelids are feeling a little kind of dry. My skin is on the dry side. And if you guys know, I had surgery the other day. Well, I had an endoscopy where they removed some things and did some biopsies and whatnot. So technically I was put out, so I call it surgery. You can call it what you want. But I was under for quite a while. And for some reason, every time I get put under, it messes with my skin to dry it out even more than it already is. And I said I was going to put a little, and I'm going a little heavy, but this is a great base. If you have dry skin, if you have oily skin, if you have green skin, blue skin, white skin, red skin, whatever you may have. I have not seen anybody that not love this base. Glamorous Beauty's using it. Quite a few other of my friends are using it. I've passed a couple along to people. I am a big fan of it. I am using the, what is this? The number 0.5, I think. They come in 0, 0.5, 1, 2, 3. And those refer to the color, and the 0.5, it's got a slight pinky tone to it. The 0 is white. Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about with pigments and about what's going on. Okay. Now, you do not set this base if you do not already know. You just go right in. Best way to do with the P. Louise base, pick up your pigment, dust off your eyeshadow, whatever you're using, press pigment. You know, it's become such a big thing to say what you're using now. But I pick up my pigment, just a light amount, and I press first. Press it in, and then kind of work it. Now, with this base, that's what you want to do because it is a little sticky. Now, the first time you put it on there, that's where you're going to get your biggest payoff. See, I didn't want a lot, so, and if you want to build it up, that's what you do. You just kind of press and then work it in. Anyway, back to the subject. See how pretty that leaves a nice little wash right there. And I have hooded eyes, so I always put the color and then I blend it upwards to where I really want my crease. Anyway, I'm using the color Pierced Heart right here. Kind of mauve color. Okay, so I have used many palettes. The worst reaction I had was to the Mini MUA palette. Okay, Now, I discovered that it had something in it called Red Lake 40. Now, how was it? When they use lake, it means it's derived from salt, I believe. It's just, it's how they source it, where it comes from, you know, because everything comes technically from the earth. Even though if somebody says something's man-made, it's man-made from something from the earth. We didn't go to outer space and get these products. We didn't like pull them out of the air. Everything comes from the earth. So anyway, my biggest thing is, I'm not vegan. Okay. I'm not big on vegan products. Okay. Hear me out before you guys drag me out. The reason why I'm not big on vegan products is because now in makeup, you are having to choose whether you want something to be eye safe by using carmine, or if you want it to be vegan by using the red dyes. In my situation, I've had problems with the red dyes. Red dyes are very harsh. They are not approved by the FDA, and I will tell you why. It's not because of staining. It is because of irritation. If you look up on the FDA's website and you look up like Red Lake 40 or Red 40 or what was the other one? Blue something, another lake one, a blue one. But if you look those up, they will say possible staining but irritation. The reason why they're not approved is not, as these people, Manny MUA came on, telling you guys that this was not approved because, why am I not using the mirror in my hand? Not approved because of the staining. And that's not true. Now, the FDA, yes, it's been years since they've reviewed a lot of things. They have a lot of products to review. And that's what people say, well, it's approved in Europe. Okay, it's approved in Europe, but I don't, and I'm not in Europe. I do not know their regulations for testing or whatnot. I do know that I did have irritation. My FDA says it's not approved because of irritation. I got irritation, so I think they know what they're talking about. Now, I have sensitive skin, so where I may have a reaction, you may not. That said, I did also have a lot of swelling and a like little rash come up. Reason why I did, and I found this out on my third round of irritations from eyeshadows, because I did something stupid, which the girl I watched did the same thing I did the first 2 times. She got these makeup wipes. Very irritating. You're taking skin that is already irritated and you're putting an irritant on it. That's 2. You have sensitive skin. That's 3. You already have 3 things going against you. It's not the product. It started out as the product, but what you started doing by removing the staining, you caused more problems than what you started with. And I'm saying that from, look, and I'm just piling this stuff on here. I'm loving this color though. I love mauves. Speaking of eye irritation, that's kind of how my eyes looked. It was a lot more red though, reddish purpley kind of color. And it lasts for days, but, and the reason why I tell you I noticed on the 3rd round of it, because the 3rd time, all I used was, I don't have it in front of me, but I used Take Off the Day Balm by Clinique. That is an oil-based balm for removing makeup. What I did is just took some on my finger, I wiped it across my eye, I let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then just took a clean, damp tissue and wiped it. Actually, I think I used a cotton swab, but you get my point. But the point is, it's, you know, I understand she was upset. I understand she got on here and she raised hell. But a lot of that, I'm sorry, but it was uncalled for. I'm going to go into Nightshade here, this purpley color. I'm just going to, I'm doing kind of a, it's daytime, so I just want a little wash of, color. Here, I'm just going to do that on the outer corner and then do something light on the inner. I don't want something like super, super bright. just want something real kind of pastel-y looking. But anyway, I completely understand why she got upset, you know, and I got upset too. I emailed Manny MUA, I emailed Lunar Beauty, and I got a very crappy, well, we haven't heard of anybody else having this problem, so I don't know what to tell you. The problem is they are marketing eyeshadow palettes as shadow palettes not to be used on your eye. Now, Manny came on and he said that some of the colors are not approved for the eye due to staining and possible irritation. I think he mumbled possible irritation, if he even said it. But the responsibility for James Charles was to state, and I do believe, you know what, let's pull out his palette, because I have heard that it says on here that some colors are not, okay, wait, hold on. Pressed pigments, where is it? Synthetic, sorry, here it is. Red 40 Lake, it is in there. Okay, ingredients, pressed pigments. Okay, here we go. May contain, okay. It doesn't say it. It should. I take it back because I thought it did say it. Where it doesn't, I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. I want to read this and I'll be right back to tell you what I found. Okay, I'm back. I did read this. I have the palette here. The only writing on the back is just Morphe's address and just telling you that it's good for 12 months once you open it. MorpheBrushes.com, and it's just James Charles palette. There's no writing on the inside except for it does have the insert with the names, but there's no writing. The packaging has the ingredients listed on the back. It is called an artistry palette. It's not an eyeshadow palette, which now I don't know what the exact regulations on here, but I just from a consumer's point of view, I believe they have to tell you that they're not approved. Oh, wait, hold on. Here you have a little tiny eyeball right here, and then you have a little eyeball down here saying that these are not eye safe. But it's not written out, it's just an eyeball with a line through it. And it's referring to Rusted Mary, You're Kidding, Boutique, Benny, Tune, B, Brother, Artistry, Love That, Pinkity, Drinkity, Cola Escape, Single, and Skip are not approved to use on the eyes. I do believe they have to write it. I think they have to be a little more clear with that. I don't know. I mean, don't quote me. I don't know. Do I want to... I'm wondering if I want to keep this real light, and I want something really, really... Oh, wait, Nectar. This is pretty. This is kind of a white duochrome pink color. I'm just going to press that on with my little pinky right here. But I'm not sure, and, you know, I probably should have looked this up before I made this video. But as far as I knew, that you had to actually write out that they were not eye safe, and that was not... It's a shadow palette, an artistry palette, and it's... But he, you know, he needed to be very clear about it. When you're, I do think that the FDA needs to change the way the regulations are, because when you're marketing a palette as an eyeshadow palette, are you going to put purple on your cheek? I mean, it just, and all of the eyeshadow palettes, and Manny MUA, the front of his palette has a picture of his eyes with all the colors. So that would lead you to believe that those colors were eyeshadow colors and they were meant to be used on the eyes, right? Now, I used to watch James Charles a little more than I do. You know, it's just a lot of these bigger influencers have gotten to the point where they're just kind of, there's too much drama. I'm not into drama at all. I got a little bit of this under here in the corner. That was not fallout. It's me and my fat fingers. There we go. That is pretty. I just wanted something kind of light. I'm going to do my makeup and then I'll do the lower lash line. I'm just going to do powder foundation, which has been a thing I've been doing lately. I'll do my eyebrows after, but it's really bothering me that clearly you see all of the colors that he mentioned on his eye. There's no color on his face. I mean, he's got a little bit of contour, but I mean, it's mainly his face is white and it's only color across the eyes. By looking at this, you would say this is an eyeshadow palette, but he's marketing it as an eyeshadow artistry palette, the James Charles palette. Now, that's what a lot of them are doing, and they're doing that because they can't call it an eyeshadow. And, you know, not that consumers are dumb, but the biggest problem that a lot of consumers have is we don't do our research. The reason why that James Charles palette has been sitting there for a couple days is because I have been kind of playing it out, listening and waiting to see. I've heard all the big YouTubers come out. Oh, sorry, my nose itches. I've heard all the bigger YouTubers come out and talk about the palette and show the palette and this and that, but what about the smaller ones? Now the smaller, I'm starting to see smaller ones come out talking about problems with the shadows. So I kind of held off on using it, and the whole reason is because I have had issues with those colors. This is the Diamond Powder, as you see, well loved by Winky Lux. I'm loving this. If you are not a foundation type person, you don't like a heavy foundation on you, and you're not really a full coverage person, but you want coverage, look how beautiful that is. And you can bring this, you can do a light sheer, say, wash of color, just to kind of clear up. See how it just brightens my complexion? To bringing this all the way, you can get a full coverage out of this by patting it in a little more. This is the Winky Lux Diamond Powder, and this is the lightest one they have, light. I've tried a lot of powder foundations, and I keep going back to this one. I like the color of it. I like how it goes on. I like the lasting power of it, and I like the fact of it doesn't, like, after a few hours kind of get like crepey looking. Some of them do that, and I think it's because this is it's got more of a creamy type feel, you know, like more like an eyeshadow would have, kind of a creamy feel. It's got more of an actual like powder foundation. Powder foundation should feel creamy. So I'm trying to grow my bangs back out. I'm over them. So I think I'm going to grow them out to be a swoosh bang again. I had that for a long time. Then I let them grow all the way out and decided I was going to cut them again, and I changed my mind again. I think I'm going back. But just, if you have any sensitivities to anything, just be careful. And a lot of people tell you to do a test. That's not going to work because I don't have any reaction anywhere on my body but my eyes. So what I would suggest is just take your little pinky, dip it into, like, in that palette, I would say dip it into Skip, which is hot pink color, and just place a little bit right here, just a little tiny bit on the corner of the eye. Leave it there for about an hour, or, you know, I would wait at least 10 to 15 minutes if you want to take it off right away. If you want to see about staining, just leave it on there for about an hour. If you're not irritated by that, and it's, you know, you feel comfortable with it after that, do it up. You know, or if you want to go ahead and use the palette, just be careful what colors you use, and just maybe do a lighter look. You know, instead of doing a heavier look, do a lighter look the first time you use it. So that is my take on that. I did want to come on here and really talk about that because, you know, you're hearing a lot of people chime in about this, and a lot of them, oh, I didn't put anything under my eyes. I've been using the Tatcha under my eyes and loving it, but I've already got powder on and it doesn't, yeah, I can't do it over powder. I've tried that before and it looked terrible, but it's okay. My under eyes, thank God I don't have a lot too dark under my eyes, but this will look okay. I know I'm sitting here caking powder on my face. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm trying to hurry, and anything, you ever have that when you try to hurry, you take twice as long? That's me. I have been back to Laguna since I got this here, and I've been using my Ita brush, and what I like to do is just kind of like get it in the middle of it like that. Like well, I do it about 3/4 over, more towards the middle. And I put the part that I didn't put any on, I put it up top, and I kind of go at an angle like this and get it on there. I'm loving this shade. I haven't used it in so long. You know, I have to look in like the regular light over here because I tend to be a little heavier handed when I'm in front of the camera. And then I go outside and I look at my makeup and I have it on way too dark. I have to come back in here and pat foundation on. So that's why you see me a lot of times look over that way. What I'm doing is I'm looking down here. I have a mirror down here, a mirror over there, and a mirror there. And monitor there. So that's how we do it. Keep getting warnings on my camera here, so if you see my finger keep popping up, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just throwing this up so you're getting to see this in real time. This is me really taking forever to do my makeup. Sorry, guys, but I don't have time to edit it, and I want to get the video up today. I've got so much going on. I'm going out of town for Thanksgiving. Wow, I just hit pan. Look at that. Shiny, shiny, shiny. I get so excited when I hit pan, guys, because especially on a bronzer, to hit pan on a bronzer that I haven't even had that long. I haven't had this that long at all. But, you know, I keep hearing about a lot of bad things about this palette still. I mention this every time I pull it out. This Tris palette by NARS. I've been like kind of a NARS face product person for a while, but lately I've been just really, I love these two colors in the middle. Sorry, these two colors in the middle right there. I like to blend those together, and I just kind of, they do have a little bit of a sheen to them, and if you see, I kind of place it a certain, I've gotten kind of a certain little pattern of doing it that it helps not to show a lot of texture. I don't want to show a lot of texture today because I'm going to be around people that might actually look at me. So it's kind of a, what do you call that? A potluck? I haven't been to a potluck in years, guys. I feel kind of out of place, but because it's all the office people and wives and the office girls, so it is what it is. I'm going to use this in the inner corner. If you guys watched that video where this fell out, oh, I was so mad. I pressed it back in, but tried not to press it too hard. I just don't tilt this upwards. This is the highlighter from Pat McGrath. Grabbing my M510. And I like this. I like that center shade, but it's a little too much for today. So I'm going to grab this first shade here. This is the one that's like, it's still shiny. Let me show you. I'll show you the first two. This is the first one, and that's the middle one. I'm going to use that one today, the pinker of the two. And just kind of, just a light. It's not showing up real good on camera, but trust me, it's there. I always put more of that. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. I love that. I love pinky toned highlighters. It's just always been kind of my thing. Let me grab a brush. I'm going to use it on the inner corner as well. And I'm just going to grab, this is a M250. It's kind of a flat, flatter packing brush. And I'm going to grab that middle shade. It's got more of the gold reflex, and I'm going to use that on the inner corner. That is pretty. And I'm going to take this one, the one I used as the highlighter, and I'm just going to dust that lightly over my inner, kind of the inner part of my eye, just because I really am liking that pink. Oh, that is pretty. It really brings a pink, kind of pinky purple tone reflect over what I've already done. That is pretty. I think I'm even going to just lightly tap it and bring it up here. I haven't done my eyebrows yet. There we go. I wanted to do my eyebrows towards the end because I wanted to actually show doing them. I've had a few people ask me, the main one in particular, Alex, has been asking, and I got to drive her and her daughter to the airport yesterday. They're going to New York. I Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful time. Not that you're watching me while you're up in New York. If you see snow, bring me back some. Just kidding. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. Alex has been asking me about it, and I've tried to explain to her. And I'm gonna kind of show. And for any of you guys that kind of wonder, this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I like to just go ahead and brush them up like that, and then make sure I want a little bit of the pencil out. I don't know if you can see that. Not much, just, you know, enough that you got the little point out. And I start right here at the, see where your lashes all, or not lashes, see where your hairs all end right here? I'm just gonna slow, light strokes across, and I go a little bit over, because I like my tail to be a little longer, and just kind of follow that line. See how I'm not going really straight? Kind of straight, but not exactly, because I don't want a real structured brow. Now I come up here and decide where I want the end to be, and just a couple of light strokes up. Now I'm going to come in and just, I do a few strokes up and a few strokes over, because I want to fill it in without being real obvious that I'm doing it, because I like more of a natural brow. The best way to learn how to do your brows, I don't go straight across the top. See how I'm saying under the hairline on the top? And the reason why I want to do that, I like more of a natural, kind of bushy look to the top and a little more structured on the bottom. That's how you do that. That's my easy eye. This is my hard eye. I have a hell of a time doing this eye. Plus, this eye has a little more hair on it, so I don't have to worry about it as much. There we go. Same thing, just kind of, what you're doing is just, but besides that bottom line, you just, if you keep the pencil within your hairline, you can really fill it in without being too obvious, and it doesn't really mess up the natural shape of your brow. Like right here where I'm missing some right in here, I will go across. See how I just lightly did that? Right in there. I'm trying to look at my monitor so I can see that I'm showing you the right thing. So hard to look at the monitor and do that. There you go. Now, if you feel like you've gotten it too dark, you can go back through with your spoolie, because what will happen is when you go through with the spoolie, it'll kind of like blur what you've done a little bit. See, and it'll blur out those lines. But I'm pretty happy with what I did this morning, so that is that. I am going to grab Sumatra. I know. I'm so predictable. I love this eyeliner. This is Smashbox. If you haven't seen Smashbox Sumatra, it is a beautiful deep brown color. It's more on the, I would call it more on the cool tone side. If you like more of a warm tone brown, they have I just picked it up. It is, you can see the difference. This is more warm tone. This is more of a cool tone. This is called Nude Dark. Now, if you are a dark skin girl and you want a beautiful, beautiful natural waterline, that Nude Dark is your girl. That is so pretty. I saw it on a dark skin girl the other day, and it was so pretty because it has a warm tone to it. And it just really popped with her skin. She had more yellow tones with her skin, so it really just, it almost had kind of a, let me see if I can show you. This is, I'll just do it on my hand. This is Sumatra. This is the one I used. Now let me grab the Nude Dark. Sorry, I got a whole cup of them back here. This is Nude Dark. Show you next to it. See how the difference is? This one is Nude Dark on the top. Now, if you put it next to a dark skin, I'm just going to draw it right next to the other one. See how it really pops right there? It really just gives that a pretty kind of like glow to the eye. It really looks so pretty on her eye. Now I got it all over me. Let's do a... Did you guys see that? Oh my God, she licked her finger, Kardashian. She licked her finger. I've done that. Hey, when I'm doing swatches and I don't have anything to wipe off with, I usually just wipe on my pants. And like the last one, if I don't want to get up and wipe my hands, I have done that. But I don't lick my finger and go back into the shadow. That's kind of gross. This is a new product. They had this on sale at Ulta. This is Dior Addict Lip Maximizer Collagen Active blah, 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 blah. It's supposed to be kind of a plumping gloss. I don't know. I've been trying these lately. I need to get my lips done, so this is just it's kind of a just, I guess, clear. This is one of those minty plumpers, and I don't like those. I usually put one of these on before I start my makeup, and then, oh, sorry guys, I dropped the box. Some things I keep in the box. I don't, just me. But I like the Too Faced one. That Too Faced, what is it, Lip Injections Extreme. I don't even know where it is right now. I'm not going to put it on with this one, but that's that. I like the Too Faced brings a, actually this is too, it's bringing a little rush of pink to my lips. I feel a little tingling, but not a whole lot. You know what, I never did my lower lash line. Let me grab this palette real quick. Just throw something underneath here. I want to use, I'm going to grab this flat brush. This is just a flat definer brush. And I'm going to go in, I want to go into this here, Intoxicated. That's that real dark, sultry, beautiful purple. And I want to bring that right up against the lash line. I've been really liking to do this a lot lately. Just with a dark purple or a dark burgundy kind of color. You see how that, look how that makes the green pop in my eye. See this one? Now look at that one. See the difference? It's crazy how purples do that. Purples, reds. And it doesn't take much. Just a little bit of that color contrasting with your eye. And it will do it. I love that look. I got a busy day today. I still got to get all my birds out. I have 3 parrots, if you guys don't know. 3 parrots, 2 dogs, and 3 cats. I don't have kids. Well, I have a daughter, but she's grown. So that's a story for another time. Story with, you know, I always wonder if my daughter watches me. Makes me wonder, because she, you know, you never know. We don't talk, so that was her choice. She chose not to have me included in her life. But I was very young when I had her, and I made the decision that it was better for her life if I found it in my heart to place her for adoption. I got to pick the family. I picked a very loving family where she had an older sister because I grew up an only child. They actually wanted a boy. And there was something about this family I just really stuck out to me. So I wrote them a letter, and the lawyer took it to them, and they said, yeah, we would love to have a girl, because I knew I was having a girl. So that's how that worked out. And I just, because of other circumstances and health problems, I never had another child, and that was my only child. So I became an avid pet mom. I have been loving this mascara. I think it's more, I don't really like the formula so much as the brush. And I keep swearing that I'm going to try this brush in another formula. But this is the, what is it? Lancome Hypnotized Drama. I tend to like a light formula on my lashes. Just because I wear glasses. So my eyes are always covered up, and I don't really worry about too much about that, you know. And it's so hard for me to wear lashes. Everybody asks why I don't wear lashes. I don't wear lashes because they touch my glasses and I have that, like, oh, it drives me nuts. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I did want to just, you know, clarify some things up with that. You know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, but I am somebody that did have a reaction to a makeup product. I've had a reaction to a couple different eyeshadows now. Until that, I had never had one. I have sensitive skin to an extent. The only thing I was really ever sensitive is like vitamin C, real strong serums or real strong chemicals that would get on my skin. Cleaning products, if that would get anywhere near any of my skin, I have a problem. But as far as eyeshadows, my first incident with eyeshadows having irritation was with the Mini MUA palette. So, I mean, you know, this girl talks about she's never had a reaction. I have drawers and drawers and drawers of eyeshadow palettes. I mean, I could probably show you the last 100 palettes that have been released that I have. Or you can go back on my channel and see how many different palettes I've reviewed. And out of all of the eyeshadows I've reviewed, I've had 3 reactions. It can happen. I never had an anxiety attack either until, what, a month ago? I had my first anxiety attack and it was horrible. I thought I was going to die. My blood pressure went over, like, it was 220 something over 130. I had to get out of there. I was in a medical place, and I told them I got to go. I got to get out of here. And they didn't want to leave me. They didn't want to let me leave because they were afraid with my blood pressure so high they wanted to give me. So I said, no, just I'll be fine. Just let me outside. My blood pressure immediately went down. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys do want me to review that palette. Also, little secret, I think I may be having a little extra giveaway here. I'll let you know in one of my next videos. Have a great day, guys. Bye.